How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm actually kind of coming after one of these big YouTubers that is out in the space right now. They've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. His name's Graham Stephan, and he talks about how to properly save and invest your money as a millennial or as a young person in America or in Canada or in the United Kingdom or wherever, in these more first world countries. And he's sharing a lot of things that really do work. Things like, storing away your cash, being careful about your investments, what to do, how to invest in stocks, how to get into, these sorts of financial management concepts and principles. But one of the things that I think he's really missing the mark on is that none of these investment opportunities even come close to actually starting a business. Because right now in my business, if I spend $10,000, I know that I'll make about 14 to 16 back every single time. So why don't I just do that? Why don't I actually just build a business or build a product or a service that I can spend money to sell and then use that as my financial vehicle instead of waiting 10 years for my real estate portfolio to finally be worth 1 or 2 million so I can get a barely six-figure drip out of that in yearly cash flow. So let's get into that in this video. I want to talk about why saving money is actually keeping you broke instead of making you rich. So how's it going? My name is Trey Cockrum, and I currently run and operate a business that is coming up on a 7-figure yearly profit mark. This month, we're on track to do about $70,000 a month in profit this month in August. And that is across an education business where I help people start and grow social media marketing agencies and my own social media marketing agency as it stands. Today I have 2 meetings with new potential clients. I've got 3 meetings with new potential students. I fill my calendar with sales calls. I fill my calendar with new client work. I build my team around what I want to do. I keep it very cash flow forward and I keep overhead very low. And really my expenses are pretty much my apartment, some of the software tools that I use, and a few other small things and team members that I pay, in a very lean pay structure. I use Facebook advertising and Facebook organic to attract clients, as well as YouTube advertising and YouTube organic, like this YouTube channel. And I've built a business off the back end of, my brand, as well as my company's brand, Koa Media, which is the entity that I serve clients through. And, we're on track very soon to be a 7-figure operation at 20 years old, which means I'll be making about $1 million a year profit by the time I'm 21 at the latest at this pace. If I keep things going, things could crash and burn. That's just the reality of business. It's very high leverage. You can come and you could go. But I want to compare that to slowly putting away money on the side. And I do want to say something. I am putting money away on the side. I have a $1,000 a month check that is being written to a life insurance plan, which spreads my money out across a couple global or I guess nationwide index funds. I've got the Eurodex, I've got the S&P 500, and I think I have whatever the main one for Asia is. I forget the name of it, but it's being spread out across those 3 investments. I've been doing that for about 2 years now. It's made me back some good returns, and it's a nice little safety net for when I'm 50 or 60. It might be worth, maybe 1.5 million, depending on how the economy goes. But that being said, it is not my focus. It's not my focus to build these long-term wealth building things. My focus right now as a business owner is to sell more of my products and figure out ways where I can consistently spend in order to sell my products or my services. For example, instead of spending $100,000 on a new real estate investment, you could just build a sales funnel with a product or a service attached to the end of it, where maybe you're running ads to get people to watch a video where they can book a call where you can sell them on something. Right now, that's what I do. I spend about $200 to $400 per sales call, and I close about 1 out of 4 sales calls. And our offerings as an agency start at about $2,000 a month, all the way up to $10,000 up front for a service. And that makes me way more money in the short term and the long term than real estate investing does. So I almost hate to break a paradigm here. I almost hate to challenge people's belief in real estate and Bitcoin and investing and all these things. But if you build a business where you pour cash in and out the other end more cash comes out, that's your best investment vehicle. It's so tempting as an entrepreneur, or as somebody who's wanting to build wealth, to start looking at these long-term business plans. And I'm not even really that convinced that playing the long term is to your benefit. I think you should play the long term on the side, dripping off of what you're doing in the short term, which is what I'm doing. I put $1,000 away every single month. It's $12,000 a year. It's $120,000 every decade, which will come back at about a 3 to 4% growth rate every year annually compounded, and that will be worth a lot of money when I'm 50, 60 years old, and I'm 20 now. So it's a good long-term plan, but it's not at all my primary wealth builder. and it shouldn't be for you either. And there's a book out there called The Millionaire Fast Lane, where it talks about if you really want to build wealth, you don't look at these slow moving markets. You look at what's happening right now. You look at what products and services can I come out for people that are needed right now in the current state of the market, and how do I push those as far as I can push them? And that's been my standard for myself ever since I got into entrepreneurship. Though obviously it's smart to be smart with your finances and not to just blow money, the smartest thing you can do as a business owner is take your money and put it back into the business. You know, a great example of this would be Amazon. For 10 years, you know, people come down on Amazon and say Amazon didn't pay taxes, which is true. But that's because Amazon didn't technically profit anything, because all the money they made, they would pour it right back into the business, so they wouldn't keep any. You know, Bezos's net worth is purely off of shareholder value. It's not any direct profits from the company itself. It's just his personal net worth as a 20% stakeholder in the company, as opposed to a direct profit drip from the company, which is a totally different tax system and something that would take hours to sit down and break down and explain because it's very complex. But you gotta understand the reason they didn't pay taxes is because they put all their money back into the business to continue to grow it, which is one of the main and primary reasons they are this, you know, mega company they are today, is because they spent the first 10 years pouring every profit, every bit of money that they got in the door back into the business to build infrastructure so they can have these things like same-day shipping, great warehousing, you know, good product selection, an amazing user interface, great algorithm for ranking products, things like that. And so really, in a way, Jeff turned, you know, this startup investment of, I think it was like $1 million that he originally raised, into, what is it, 167 billion, or now I think Amazon's coming up on like being $1 trillion net worth company, but I think Bezos's net worth is 167 billion as of right now. So, you know, that's something really to consider. Taking $1 million and turning it into $1 trillion, you can't do that with real estate unless you live for 2,000 years. You can't do that with the stock market unless you get absurdly lucky 100 times over with a 100 million startup capital. There's no way you can build something like that. So truly, figuring out what business you want to be in and pouring all of your time and all of your resources into that business is the best financial vehicle. And so if you're saving money, do it on the side off of a profitable business. Don't make it your main focus for wealth building, because you will guaranteed end up moving way slower for a payoff that just isn't worth it, because I'm not willing to trade 30 years of my life for $1 million. I know people who make $1 million in a single month, and I'd rather get to that point in my business where I'm spending money to sell things at scale, profitably, things that people want and enjoy and appreciate that actually impact their lives or maybe bring them value in their business or whatever it is, and scale that up. So yeah, that's kind of the point of this video. Instead of saving money, figure out where your money can work for you. Even if you have $1,000 in the bank right now, where can you put that money? Maybe there's an online program you could buy that will help you start a business. Maybe there's ads you can run to help you sell some service that you've got. Maybe you're good at repairing trucks, or you're a photographer, or you know, you could do guitar or piano lessons or whatever it might be. That is literally a better investment than the real estate market, than the stock market. And one of the things that I teach my students who run agencies, you know, we sell this program that helps people start social media marketing agencies. We've got our low tier program, which is what we promote kind of on YouTube. And then off the back of those students, we promote a 7-figure program where we help people scale to this $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a month level. And one of the main things we teach is how to use the profit that you're getting from your business and reinvest it back into ads to continue to grow the business. So you can literally, not figuratively, literally turn $1 into $1.50 over and over and over and over again by executing what we call the economic machine in your business. Right now, I do something similar with YouTube. Because we sell these programs and these courses on the back end of this, I spend money to grow this channel. I partner with influencers, I pay them good money, I spend money on ads. I spend about $150 a day on YouTube ads to help this channel grow, and I put money back into the front so that out the back end we can create profit. You know, I know people personally who spend $40,000, $50,000 monthly on advertising to grow their businesses, and off the back of that, they're profiting anywhere from $80,000 to $120,000 a month selling a product or a service at scale. And that is your best investment. That is the best chance you have at growing true liquid wealth early in life that you can then slowly transition into these slow means of wealth building as you get older. So Graham, all due respect, you've built an amazing thing. You've helped tons of people, including myself. I'm very inspired by what you've built. I think you're wrong. I do not think saving money and investing it into real estate or whatever it might be is the best way to grow wealth. We all know, and you know as well, and you're actually very transparent about this, which is very cool, that most of your money's made from selling your course and this personal brand that you've built. And you do take that money and put it into real estate, which is great. But if you really wanted to give people the actual advice that they need to hear, what they need to hear is figure out how you can sell a service or a product at scale predictably and then spend money to do it. And once you can spend money to acquire a customer or a client, you now have the best investment opportunity that you've ever been handed in your entire life, and you should forget everything else for the next decade and focus on that and that alone. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Just a short, fun video. Graham, you're a great dude. Love what you're doing. You're a phenomenal YouTuber. You built something incredible, and I definitely recommend you check his channel out. I'll leave it in the description. He talks about investing in real estate, stocks, and he keeps you guys updated on the stock market, what's going on there. Very legitimate YouTuber with a lot of integrity, and I love what he's up to. But I did want to make this point that if you want to build real wealth, start a business. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.